Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Drew. This is Just a Guy Linux, and today, friends, we're going to be doing something that I didn't think I was going to. So about a week ago, I did the video for installing Debian 13 Trixie minimal install, and the day after that, I did OpenBox. But while I was looking at the comments, it looked like there was many of you that wanted i3, and I'm going to do that today for you. So I am starting from that minimal install, and there should be a link somewhere on this screen about where you can find that video. That doesn't mean if you have done the OpenBox install that you can't follow along as well. It is basically the same thing. There's not going to be any problem with having two window managers, one a floating window manager and i3 being a tiling window manager. But first things first, if you haven't already done so, you should sudo apt install git. And I haven't, so like I said, this is a fresh install. Let's clear the screen, Control L, and we are going to git clone https:// github.com/griff/i3 setup. Okay, let's go ahead and cd into i3. And let's ls. So there's not a lot here, obviously. There is the install, so let's nano install.sh. Okay. The top part is an attempt to help others that are not on Debian. Those poor souls, by the way. So anyway, it is an attempt to tell them what packages they would need if they were on Arch, if they were on Fedora. Basically, you would say install.sh and then -- export -packages, and then this stuff will spit out, and you can copy them or try to install them. Again, this is not intended to be done on anything except Debian, so buyer beware. Anyway, it's going to install these core packages. This looks very similar to the one that I did for basically anything, but since I've did the OpenBox install recently, you may see some similarities here for those of you. By the way, over the last two videos, I've had at least 200 new subscribers. Thank you very much. Outstanding. I don't know what to say. It's like phenomenal. Anyway, it's going to install these core packages. It's going to install UI stuff, including Polybar, file manager stuff, and so on. What I'm going to do is basically come all the way down this section here where it says Butterscript Helper at the very top of it basically takes a lot of the scripts that I work on in a repo on GitHub called Butterscripts, and then installs PyCom from there, WesTerm, ST, NerdFonts, and so on. It includes a little taste of the number of wallpapers that I like. They're kind of like handpicked for some of these projects. And then it gets to the LightDM, or sorry, not just LightDM, but the Display Manager installer, and then it gets to the optional tools. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about optional tools later, but as it stands, that is the end of the script. Let's go ahead and Control X. Let's clear the screen and let's install. Okay, and we are. So, and then basically it just runs. That's all it needs to do. It just needs to run. And let me just say this. If you are installing this alongside of OpenBox, like you've done the other install that I did about a week ago, and you think that this might mess up, it won't. They should be able to run side by side, or basically install on, both at the same time is, I guess, my point. Anyway, I'm going to pause now, and the next thing will be the Display Manager installer. As expected, we are at the install for the display manager. By the way, I've seen quite a few SDDMs screenshots lately that I've really been impressed with. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to install like my tried and true, which is LightDM. And I'm going to pause here because it takes like, I don't know, a minute, and you're just not going to want to sit here through this. Okay, 60 seconds later, and we are at the next stop, and that is to install optional tools. Now, we are definitely going to do this because I am going to let the cat out of the bag a little bit, so to speak, and we're going to go into Butterscript's installers. And the very first thing at the very top is something called Butterbash. And that is something that I'm going to install here, maybe in the next video as well. Regardless, this is the thing that is going to be part of, this is going to be the entire next video, something called Butterbash. I will not be demonstrating it, but it is something that I think is kind of cool, and I'm curious to see what the community thinks. So I'm going to go ahead and, yes, I'm going to install. And yes, I'm going to add the recommended tools, which is ripgrep and FZF. And maybe oh, nope, ripgrep wasn't there. Okay. And let's go ahead and hit enter. And by the way, so if Genie is something that is your jam, like it is for me, I go ahead and install Genie here. I'm giving you the choice whether you want to install the 2.0 version, which is part of the Debian packages, or go and we're going to build from source, which is version 2.1. I am more likely to just use the older version, but unless there's something there that makes me go, I definitely need the newer one. Regardless, I'm going to go next to 3 just to show you that you can install Brave, for example. I have Firefox ESR already installed, but I like to have both a Firefox and a Chromium-based browser as well. So I just go ahead and select Brave here, and I think it's a pretty good browser. So after this is done, which only took a minute, you have a choice: Discord, Fast Fetch here. I'm going to go ahead and install it. It can install from the Debian packages, but I'm actually just taking the newest version of Fast Fetch and installing it quickly, and then putting in 3 configuration files so that, because actually somebody asked me, hey, where's the configuration files? If you do this, it actually will install those config files for you. There's also the custom NeoVim. I'm just going to go ahead and do that really quickly because it doesn't take very long at all to do so. It is installing 0.11.3. I'm not 100% sure that it is the latest, and I'm actually not even sure what the Debian version is that's on that is in Debian packages. Regardless, I'm going to go back 8 to the main menu, and if you want to, you can go into 2 and install a bunch of stuff beyond that. That's not that important for me. I'm just going to go skip. I might want MPV. Yeah, whatever. Again, I'm going to skip all of this stuff. I'm not going to do the LibreOffice for now. I can always do that later. And if I want to, I can just say I want Figlet installed, or ZSH, or Tmux, like I've said before. And that's it. So I'm just going to say yes, install those 2 things so that we don't take a lot more time here. And boom, that's it. Again, I'm not going to demonstrate the printer support or Bluetooth. It's there for you if you would like. And I'm just going to reboot the system now. So I will attempt to do this without video falling out. Sometimes when I'm recording, the video just ends up like... Okay, that is exactly what happened. OBS just crapped out as I was talking. Regardless, I was able to reboot and able to recover, and I don't have to like re-record anything. So outstanding. We are greeted by the LightDM console display manager, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to go over here and just select i3. And we're going to put in our username and password. And now we're going to be greeted by i3. The first thing that we're going to do is use super and H, and that's going to show the key bindings, okay? If you can't find it here, it's just not there, okay? So if you want to learn how does it to close a window, it's super Q. If you want to resize, it's going to show you how to both restart and resize just by those 3 characters, and you get the idea. If I hit escape, it's going to go away. Super spacebar is going to launch Rofi. So if you want Firefox, it's right there. If you want Brave, it's there, and so on. If it's not, there's lots of stuff like Flameshot, MPV, but fill it up to your heart's content. There's also Thunar. By the way, if you want to go directly to and use a keybind for Thunar, it's super F, F for file manager, super F, and there it is. So let's go into the .config i3 directory. Now, everything as far as the configuration is concerned will be part of this i3 directory. Dunst, PyCom, Polybar, Rofi, whatever scripts, including the auto start, the help, the change volume, and there's a scratchpad script. SXHKD is here. Let me go ahead and right click and open with NeoVim, and you'll find how to manage all of your key bindings will be part of this SXHKDRC file. So if you need to add something, it's right here. It's totally right here. Okay. If you want to shift focus, you use the super and then the left and the right arrow keys. Everything is going to be vertical. If you want to move them, it's super shift left or right, just moving the 2 back and forth. If you want to resize, it's super control left or right. So you get the idea. If you want to move something to a different workspace, right now NeoVim is the active window. So if I hit super shift and 2, it's going to move that. And now you'll see up here, up in the polybar, that there are 2 workspaces. So if I click on 2, or if I just hit super 2, so let me go back, super 2 using the keyboard only, you'll see that NeoVim is on its own workspace. If I want to change volume, I can just use the scroll, or I can say super and then insert or delete. And that will give me some feedback. Some people don't, some people never touch their mouse all day. They can do everything with the keyboard. I'm not there 100% yet, but I'm pretty good at just using keyboard for everything. So by the way, you can also, if you are hovering over the workspace number, you can then scroll, and it will scroll between the 2 things really quickly. There you go. So let's actually go into another workspace. If we just start hitting a bunch of, you'll see that they automatically spawn to the right. If you want to start closing things, again, super Q. And for the most part, that is all I need. I would like you to go ahead and, try some stuff on your own, get used to using the keyboard. And you're definitely, for those of you that have experience using i3, I hope you like this, because it did take a little bit of time in order for there to be, to use this. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not the hugest i3 fan in the world. I like it. I just don't love it. If there was something else I would rather use other things, including BSPWM. That's just my personal opinion. However, there is nothing wrong with i3. It's very, very good. So I can't think of anything else, although, like I said, spoiler, this is Butterbash, and I have a lot to say about this next time. Until then, see ya.